Well, I think you probably spoke to my first question, so maybe I should ask my second question. Because my first question, I think, was in line with what Barbara asked, knowing the difference between our passion and purpose. And then you spoke about self-limiting beliefs preventing us from discovering our passion and purpose. So you spoke.
That is very good the way you said it. Let us refine that just a bit. It is your limiting beliefs that prohibit you from feeling the full energy of your passion in your body.
Effectively questioning ourselves.
Yes, if you knew that if you really understood that you have a physical aspect and you have a spiritual aspect, you have a soul aspect, an inner being, a non-physical aspect, an intuitive mind. If you knew that the parts of you, that's what comprised you as a whole in this physical body, in this physical life, and you trusted yourself, do you know how you would get out of bed every day? You couldn't wait to get out of bed. You couldn't wait if you believed that you, as this combination of your physical mind and your intuitive mind that trusted itself and was at the same time not only trusting itself, but harnessing and wielding and commanding the power of the universe, you couldn't get out of bed fast enough. You would begrudge the 5th hour you were asleep, you see. You wouldn't want 8 hours.
Well, that's a level of confidence that you need to have in trusting yourself and your intuition. So therein lies a self-limiting belief. But you mentioned something earlier, and I kind of want to ask my second question. How do you determine the difference between your soul mind and illusions or delusions? Because our analytical mind, self-limiting beliefs, effectively break down and prevent the manifestations where we can tend to ruminate over things for extended periods of time and literally just continue going in circles, breaking down whatever our passion and purpose and beliefs or dreams are. I don't know if that makes
It makes perfect sense, and it's the perfect question. Your intuitive mind is never going to form a thought or a desire or an impulse that is afraid. Your soul is not afraid of anything. It has an eagerness to express itself, its natural self here in physical form, that if you could feel how eager and how joyful it was, it would literally take your breath away. You would have to work to catch your breath, to feel the rapture of that level of emotion. So how can you tell? If your inner being, your soul mind, knows that there is a rendezvous that you're going to have at the grocery store, it's going to say, you should go get a gallon of milk, and you should go right now. You can honor that. You can just say, you know what, I don't even understand. I don't have to understand. I'm just going to go get the gallon of milk, right? And because your intuitive mind, again, has the long range, broader view of what's down the road and all of the little places where it has to walk, all the little turns that it has to navigate in order to get there in physical form. That's why action, getting in the car to go get the milk, is thought in motion. Your soul mind is having the thought and putting its body in motion, you see. Now, what if you have a thought that says, you should go do this, but it's so out of the realm of something you would normally do? What happens? You resist it. The moment you resist it, your physical mind, through habit and how it has been habitually used, is going to want to kick in and tell you all of the reasons why you shouldn't, couldn't, wouldn't, etc., etc. That's how you know the difference. The work here then is to trust the original thoughts that are coming. Again, it is not your physical mind that's telling you to get in the car and go get the milk right now. That's not what's happening. And again, why? Because your physical mind only interprets and observes what is. And what is old news. It has already manifested. It is already the result of another thought that has come into being. Original thought is from your intuitive mind, you see, your soul mind. And that's how you know the difference. And it never feels bad. There are thoughts that you have had. There are contemplations. There are imaginings that you have conducted in your own mind that you have not told anyone. And they have been delicious, and they have been passionate, and they have been rapturous. That is your soul mind. The thoughts that you have that tell you all the reasons why whatever it was you just imagined can't have, won't have, shouldn't have, what is right, what is wrong, pros and cons, that's your physical mind. The original thought is your soul mind, your magical part of you.
So that's your
So
intuition, is what you're saying.
what you call intuition, yes.
Because every
That is
conflicting thought beyond that is your physical mind
wanting to judge
filtering,
the thought that just came in from your soul mind, your intuitive self. Yeah, your intuitive mind. If people understood that, and this is a very good question that you asked, the weighing of the pros and the cons is not what your physical mind was designed to do. It's what you force it to do as a byproduct of not trusting yourself. It is also a byproduct of your limiting beliefs, which there are a plethora of them. I will give you an example. It can be a byproduct of your caring more about what other people think than how you feel, because you have been trained since you were a child to consider the thoughts and feelings of others before your own. You were born unconditional, and then you were trained out of that, and you were trained on how to be conditional. And so when you have an original thought that your intuition, your inner being's mind, your soul mind is communicating in your physical form, and you have a thought that says, I can't do that because if I did that, that would be wrong. And it would be wrong because why? Where do you get right and wrong from? In childhood, when you were taught to be conditional. If you didn't behave in a way that others approved of, you were told that was not a behavior that was going to engender a loving response. You were taught that your misbehaviors would separate you from love, from receiving love from those that you love. And so when your soul mind has an original thought and the physical mind wants to come in and knock it down, it's a limiting belief that is kicking in to shoot down what the soul mind is trying to flow into your experience. Because again, it has that long range, broader perspective. So here is your soul mind doing its job, by the way, and having original thought in physical form. But then here comes the overly used physical mind shooting it down, bringing up conditions. Oh, what is someone going to think if I do that? What are people going to say about me if I do that? Then they're going to think I'm a bad person. And all of that. And refuse is what keeps you from putting the original thought from your natural self into motion. This is how you were designed to work. That you knew that you were going to be able to do that. Your soul mind was going to navigate you. And then you were going to follow those thoughts without fear or concern. You were going to follow those thoughts, experience your creation, experience your manifestation, and then your physical mind was going to observe and interpret. The conundrum comes in when you receive the original thought, and for one of the 1,000 reasons that you all make up, you don't follow it. You create reasons, you create the wall. If there is something you don't have, it is because you are stopping it. You are stopping the natural flow of your process in physical form. You are stopping yourself from becoming. For it is through the experiences that you learn in physical form. In this physical, you need to follow this process so that you can become, which is why so many teachers have come to educate you on the repercussions of all of this negative energy. How can you tell the difference? Your inner being is never going to communicate anything negative to you. It doesn't have to. It's not afraid of anything. When you start, that's how you can tell between the physical mind and the soul mind. And it's very easy to tell. What's good about the negative emotions, though, what's good about the negative energy is that when they flare, when soul mind is creating an original thought, and when physical mind wants to come in to poo-poo the whole deal, that's good because you intended to use that too. Remember, you knew you were going to learn limiting beliefs. You knew what you were going to do with it. You knew that you were going to be able to recognize when they were going to flare. And you were going to then make the decision to not give them credence. What's good about feeling the negative emotion and embracing that part of yourself as well, and feel and knowing when your physical mind is trying to intrude, what's good about that is you can recognize that, you see, and say, oh, that's right, this is, yeah, my physical mind is so used to being overworked. It's okay. You can go to the, I do not need that. What I need to do is follow the original thought that has come from the highest source of myself, the part of myself that I was taught to disconnect from, the part of myself that I was taught not to trust. For when I was a child, being spontaneous, being carefree, I was punished for that. I was disciplined for that. So I'm actually going to do now what I was taught not to do. I'm going to follow that part of myself. And that is the path to passion. That's when you're enjoying yourself. That's when you feel the joy, you see. That's when you feel the power of creation start to flow. That's when you're manifesting every day. I have a story for you. So, and that's how you know when you're in the flow of your own natural self. You are manifesting every day, every day. You want to have some cake, but you don't have cake at home? It'll come to you. It'll be effortless. Somebody who has cake is going to call you the next day. Do you want to cut your grass and there's some sort of problem? Oh, the answer to make it easy is going to flow to you. When you are more flowing with your original thoughts and trusting those more than the limiting beliefs that have been assigned to you, that you have assimilated here, you're going to start to see a magical flow start to happen in your life. Original thought, following it, fearless creation. Original thought, fearless movement, manifestation. And every day you're going to wake up and just, you're not going to be able to help yourself. What am I going to do today? What did I put in the pipeline that's about to drop square down into my lap? That's when this becomes fun. But you have to start not using your physical mind more than what it was designed to do. And therefore, you do not have to weigh the pros and cons of every single thing. I'm not telling you to walk into traffic. That is not what I'm telling you to do. What I'm saying is when you come to your manifestational choice points, your decision points on whether to follow the thoughts from your natural self or whether to believe the limiting fear-based thoughts of your physical mind, you have the choice in that moment to decide. And it is through your choices and through your behaviors after that choice point that's going to determine the path, the life that you experience here, day to day, moment to moment.